us Frank Milner. He's one of the Tutor doctors. I'm going to call him Doctor.
Tutor doctor.
I was going to call him Doctor.
You can call me Doctor.
Dr. Frank. He's the president of Tutor Doctor. We also have John Anthony Louis, who is the owner of one of the franchises, in particular for Vaughan.
For Vaughan.
Okay, so welcome, guys.
Thank you.
You guys have built up a pretty incredible company here, this Tutor Doctor. Over 100 franchises now or something like that,
Yeah, we're
Frank?
around 170 locations now. We're operating in 6 different countries around the world, and we've got a phenomenal network of just excellent franchisees. And John Anthony happens to be one of our star franchisees.
He's one of the stars.
Absolutely.
And I hear he's got good potential as a TV host. Does he know about that yet?
Don't give him any ideas.
Okay. Anyhow, so how did this take off? I mean, what's unique about the company?
Well, there's a lot of things that are unique about the company, but the way we go about helping students is very unique. You know, we have a matching process that our franchisees engage in to make sure that students are matched up with a tutor that is going to be able to help them best. So that's kind of core to what we do. Another fact is that we work with students one-on-one as opposed to, you know, one-to-many,
Right.
which is very, very effective for the students.
And you work with exactly what they're learning, like you'll help them.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
We cover all grades, all subjects, but we use their materials, their homework, their study notes, their assignments, etc. as the basis for the tutoring that we do.
Right. So how do you match the student? Do you actually do any tutoring too as well, John? Or?
No. We have a team of about 75 tutors.
Okay.
Servicing about 200 families. And so the match is really based on personality, learning style, and we're looking for that, what we call the magical match. So, you know, the big brother, big sister type of approach, someone that can mentor them and motivate them.
So how does it work? Like, is there a meeting with them and the parents first to figure out what the needs are? I mean, how does it all work?
So right now what we do is we offer a free in-home consultation, and through that process we're trying to find out what the needs of the family are. You know, what are your goals? Is university important to you as a family, education? What do you feel are some of, you know, Johnny's areas of improvement, so to speak? What could you do better in? And we do a little bit of an assessment to find out what level they're at right now, and then we can figure out, you know, what do we need to take them to the next level according to his goals.
Right. So how did you become a franchise owner? I mean, it's a nice match, and you've obviously built up a pretty big team with 75 tutors.
Right, yeah. Well, I just kind of signed my life away. And
that's it, eh? Just like that?
Yeah, no, it took me a while to figure out what kind of business I wanted to get into. I was always in education.
Right.
I was a director of learning solutions before this for a consulting firm. And when I saw this model, it really appealed to me because, you know, we're frontline working one-on-one with students. It's just that more intimate. You know, you can see results in a shorter period of time than if you're trying to teach a classroom.
Right.
And so that's what really struck me, and the results are just screaming loud and clear that this is the best model to use.
Right. And Frank, what about you? I mean, how did you, like, you haven't always been in the tutoring business, have you? Or?
No, I was in franchising prior to this. I was an executive with a very large established franchise system, and happened to bump into the founder of the company one day, who I knew from when we were kids growing up, basically. And he started telling me that he was in franchising, and of course I was in franchising, and we hit it off. And the more I spoke to him, the more interested I got in the Tutor Doctor system, and landed up falling in love with it, speaking with him further, and ultimately myself, together with a management group, landed up investing in the company and actually acquiring it.
So is this this guy Louis something, or like
John Huey?
John Huey.
Is
Was
the
he?
founder.
Is he the, oh, so he's
the founder of the company, yes, and he's still active in the business. He spends most of his time in the field working with franchisees. He's in New York working with a number of our New York-based franchisees right now. And he'll also attend various events, etc. John Anthony's actually sponsoring an event. I think that's this weekend, correct? In Vaughan.
On Saturday, yeah. It's the best summer ever show. So it's at the Hilton Inn on Highway 7 in Jane. And we're actually sponsoring another program called the Y Factor, which is a not-for-profit initiative to provide motivation to students in schools through their assemblies and that sort of thing. And Shane Smith is one of our speakers, and he'll be there.
And where do people find out about this? Is this on your website or the company's website, or?
Yeah, you can go to TutorDoctorVaughan.com. You can go to TutorDoctor.com. It's all over Facebook, on our fan pages. Like us on Facebook, and so forth.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
And there's been some local advertising, I think, through the Vaughan Citizen as well.
For the show. What is that, best summer ever? That sounds good.
Yeah, it's an event that the Vaughan Citizen puts on every year, and through that event, there's things to do in the summer. So you go there for a family-filled, fun-filled day. There's food, there's events for kids, there's contests, prizes to be won. And my relationship with them was, I'd like to be a part of this. I'm actually a guest columnist for their newspaper, and we write some educational pieces.
Terrific.
It just seemed like a good fit and something fun to do.
Excellent. So where does the company go from here? I mean, you said 130?
170.
170.
Yeah.
And that's split Canada, US, and UK as well? Or?
Those are the three main countries we operate in, but we also operate in Ireland, we operate in Trinidad and Tobago, and we are opening right now our first location in Mexico. We have a global vision. Education is a universal challenge for most countries around the world. And Tutor Doctor plays a very significant role in helping these struggling educational systems, improve grades, improve study habits, improve confidence, and really help kids overall with their self-esteem. So there's no limit to really where we can go. So ultimately, we envision thousands of locations operating in 100 different countries around the world.
Excellent. Well, I'm sure you're going to be successful, Frank and John. It sounds like you guys got a good thing going. Frank, you had some tips online, I saw. And I have to ask you about the aromatherapy. Is that, should a parent be present to light those aromatherapy candles?
Yeah.
Can you give us 2 or 3 hot studying tips or that you'd recommend if kids are having trouble,
Sure.
getting things done?
Sure. Well, there's a number of things that kids can do. First of all, just simple basic things like, getting enough sleep at night is really, really important for students. Having good eating habits and eating right, staying away from fast foods and fried foods and high sugar contents, etc., really make a difference in terms of helping kids with their attention spans, their ability to take in information. And aromatherapy has been proven through studies to actually help students retain information that they've learned. So there's a number of different things that students can do, and actually on our website we have a first aid kit posted with all of these tips documented. But also, just working with somebody else, like a study buddy, also improves grades tremendously and
as long as
helps
it's the right
kids
person, because otherwise you can get distracted.
Well, I recommend a tutor from Tutor Doctor.
That's not a bad idea. So yeah, so those are some good tips. I mean,
Absolutely.
I know we had with our youngest, and she was sleep was getting to bed at a proper time, and
They also worry a lot.
TV too.
TV, video games. But just worrying about an upcoming test, am I going to pass? What's going to happen to me? So they've got a lot of anxieties, kids, and they don't necessarily talk about these things all the time. They kind of bottle them up very often. So, getting these anxieties out. Another thing that we recommend really strongly is actually to write down the anxieties before taking a major test or something. Get them out on paper.
Right.
And that way you can really begin to take actions to alleviate those fears and enter those tests with a calm, open mind, and of course that'll be beneficial to them.
Okay, good suggestions. Yeah.
You know that when students get stressed, the main reason why they're stressed is because they're not organized. If they don't have a plan of how to study, what units do I study today, tomorrow, the next day, and if they don't start soon enough, like right now, because exams are coming up, then they're going to feel all that pressure build up, and they're going to get overwhelmed, and they don't know how to deal with all of that. So what they need is someone to teach them. Everything has to be put in its proper box, a time slot, and get their priorities straight, because like you said, TV is one of the distractions. There's so many things competing for our time, right? My phone just went off 5 times in my pocket, and I'm trying to check it,
Yeah, Facebook.
But Facebook, Twitter, right? They don't read books, they just Facebook, right?
Yeah.
So if you can learn to put in its proper time slot and organize yourself, then that stress will be lifted.
Yeah. Well, guys, thanks so much for coming in. What was the kind of aromatherapy? There was a certain one that you recommended. Do you remember what it was?
No, lavender.
Jasmine or
lavender.
lavender?
Yeah,
Lavender.
lavender and rosemary
I
are
had to
the
get
two.
that out on the table.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that stuff's good. We used to have that around the house.
Well, my son has a good laugh at me when he hears me talking about rosemary and lavender.
Yeah,
and stuff.
Once I had some of that stuff burning, my wife came home. It stinks in here. It's giving me a headache. Yeah, trying to get her in the mood. But, anyway, that's another show. Okay, guys, thanks again for coming in. It's Tutor Doctor, and it's tutordoctor.ca or .com.
.ca or .com, but .com
Either
is
one.
our main website, yes.
Tutordoctor.com. I'm speaking to the doctors themselves. Frank, thanks so much, President, and also John Anthony Louis, owner of the Vaughan franchise. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us. We're going to be back in just a couple minutes. Hang in there. We've got John Klotz coming on. Here's a guy. He's got more letters. I'm going to ask him to explain what all these letters are. But he doesn't boast. He doesn't brag. But he's got a lot of letters. President, Northwood Mortgage Life Insurance. We're going to talk about issues that seniors are facing today from a financial standpoint. Hang in there. We'll be back in just a minute.